Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheridan Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. It's a beautiful late summer morning here in western North Carolina. I guess you can still call it late summer. There's only about a month of summer left. We're out here at the hay barn down by the creek, and it's beautiful. Pretty sight this morning. Look at that, man. Anyway, we're planning for 2024 already, if you can believe it. And we've got some baby chicks that we're going to be starting today so that we're ready for 2024. So hang out with us for a little bit. Let's show you what we got. Let's talk about a brooder setup. We'll talk about breeds, getting chicks started, why you need to start chicks now if you want egg chickens in early 2024. We'll just talk a little bit about chickens today. So hang out with us for a little bit. What you got?
I got some babies.
Now, what all are these?
These are all egg layers. And there's some Dominickers, some Buff Orpingtons, some Easter eggers, and a new breed we haven't tried before. I believe it's called Anaconda. I'm not sure. But they're a black chicken, black feathers, but they lay a white egg.
So why in the world are we buying egg chickens? So a couple questions. Why are we buying egg chickens end of August, almost the 1st of September? People buy chicks in the spring.
Yeah, most of the time. But if you want new chickens laying for the first of the next season, let's say April, May, then you need to be getting them now.
So that they can get big enough to be
So they can get
laying.
big enough to start laying.
And why in the world have we spent money buying chicks when we have egg chickens out in the field and a bunch of roosters?
Because we're going with a more heritage stock of laying hens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've decided.
We're getting away from the sex links and all that kind of stuff, and we're going more with a traditional heritage breed, heavy-bodied, regular old-style chicken.
Yeah, and everything that we've got is stuff that we hatched.
Yeah.
We hatched them out, so there is no pure breed anything out there. I mean, they're all just, which is fine.
Yeah.
We just decided we wanted to try some older stocks and older breeds and see how that would go.
And so we've got some roosters with 3 different breeds of these chickens. So if we want to, we can raise some purebred.
Yeah, we would just pull out like a Dominicker rooster and a couple Dominicker hens, put them together for a little while, and then.
So what I did was I bought 15 hens and 2 roosters.
Per breed.
Per breed.
So there's.
Except for the Anaconda. Didn't buy any roosters for them.
Yeah. So I think you said there's 74 here altogether?
Yeah.
Supposed to be. All right, let's get them out. See what they look like.
Well, I didn't want them getting out.
Talk about where you got them from.
This is a new hatchery we hadn't tried. It's called Valley Hatchery.
Oh, wow. So these are going to be Dominickers.
Yep.
These are going to be Buff Orpingtons.
Yep.
What are these?
These are going to be Easter eggers.
Easter eggers. You didn't say that a while ago.
Yeah, I did.
Did you say Easter eggers?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd my drinker go?
It's right here.
And the other one.
It's right here.
10, 11,
Hello.
12, 13.
Did you want to get out? No.
Five, 4.
So you can tell which one the males are. The ones with the little black dots on their heads. And that one's got a purple dot on his head.
So they marked them for you?
They marked the males.
Okay. Wonder how long that'll last.
Not long. I don't think they marked them for us. I think they marked them.
And then Easter eggs, right?
Yeah.
One. Let's get a good little shot of it. All right, the basic brooder setup for starting chicks. Now we're using one of our big brooders. It's like this little brooder house right here. It's not painted white, but you can use anything for a brooder. We're using this because it's what we got. You can use a big box from Amazon, a refrigerator box, a small Rubbermaid tub. I mean, your bathtub. You can use about anything. We've got some smaller brooders over in the barn. We sell plans for. I'll put a link in the description down below for those. That's a good DIY brooder if you want to build, if you'd like to build something. But no matter how you're doing it, the setup and what you need is basically the same. First thing you're going to need is, outside of the chicks of course, are some lights. And now these are lamps. We get these from Hog Slat. You can get ones at Tractor Supply, your local hardware, Feed and Seed. But you got to have a lamp to provide some kind of heat for these chicks. They're not able to regulate their body temperatures yet, so you got to have a heat source. Use a heat lamp, not an incandescent bulb or an LED bulb, but just get a heat lamp bulb. You'll find them. I think they're typically, I don't remember what size they are, but you can get those at Tractor Supply, Feed and Seed, General Hardware, anywhere you shop for your farm supplies. Got to have some shavings for bedding. We like these. We get these from a local sawmill. They're just pine shavings. The ones that you get at Tractor Supply, the flake, work fine. We found that they're just a little bit big actually for what we want to do, because the chicks don't scratch them up very good. They're so big that when the chicks poo on them, the poo just sits on top and it cakes. These smaller ones, they're able to scratch them around, and that gets that all stirred up and creates a little bit of composting action and provides a little bit of warmth coming up from the bottom. You're going to need some water. We use these chick drinkers. I think we get these at Tractor Supply. You can get them at any local hardware, Feed and Seed, and anywhere you get your farm supplies. Put some stones in the bottom for the first couple of days. That just gives the chicks something to stand on. Now these are real small. They're fairly shallow. Chick probably would not drown, but out of just an abundance of caution, we put a few stones in there. I've had chicks to drown in drinkers, but they were larger drinkers. But put a few stones in there. That just gives them something to climb on. You'll need a feeder. This is a long trough feeder. We just had this on hand. It's what we've had. You can use whatever you want. I've seen chick feeders from mason jars. They sell small chick feeders at Feed and Seed, General Hardware, Tractor Supply, Rural King. I've seen people put feed out just in a small dish or a small bowl. I mean, it doesn't matter. The chicks, y'all care what you're being fed out of? Anybody? Trough okay? See, they don't care. They're fine. And then get you a good quality chick starter. This is a 18%, Sonna. What is this?
It should be anywhere from 21 to 24.
21 to 24% chick starter for chicks. It's just a finely ground feed, and we put it out free choice and just let the chicks, you see what they do with it. They just go crazy.
And we'll put a little grit in it.
Yeah, we'll put a little grit in it. Grit's good practice. Just put a little chick. Now you got to get chick grit. If it's too big, if you're trying to use chicken grit or something bigger, the chicks aren't going to take it in. What the grit does is it sits in their crop and helps grind the feed up so that they can digest it and get more of the nutrients out of it. Just good for their health too. So that's it. I mean, anybody can start chicks. Easy to get started with them. You don't have to have a lot of fancy, expensive equipment. You don't have to, go out and buy a bunch of stuff. You probably, honestly, except for maybe the light and the drinker. Yeah, maybe the light and the drinker. You probably have what you need in your house to start chicks right now.
If you've got a pie plate, you've got a drink.
Well, that's true. If you've got a pie plate, you've got a drinker.
Put a few rocks in it.
Yeah, and you're off and running. So chicks are easy to start. And again, if you're wanting to have egg layers in the spring, you're wanting your chickens to be laying next spring, now is the time to get them and get them started. These guys will grow over the winter, and then come springtime, February, March, April, we'll be collecting eggs when everybody else is buying baby chicks, wondering, why can't I get eggs next week? So think early, plan ahead. Go and get your chicks now. All right, somebody's going to ask. Somebody has a boo-boo, and I didn't cause this, so let's not be calling Chuck a wife beater yet. Y'all tell them what happened?
Well, we had a little accident. My dad came over a couple days ago, and we got a new to us side by side, so we went out and took it for a spin to see how it was doing, and we tipped it over on its side.
So you had a little wreck.
Had a little wreck.
So she had a pretty, I mean, that's gone down a lot, y'all, but she had a big old knot on her head. And then she's got an abrasion over here. And is that still sore?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's still kind of sore. And then you got a bruise on your hind quarter.
Yeah.
So, but you're all right, ain't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I knew somebody was going to ask, what happened to Saunders' head?
Yeah.
See,
I don't want to talk about it because this is how Mama's going to find out about it, and she's going to call and fuss at me.
So this has been the year of Sandra get hurt, not Chuck. Between been run over by a pig, been in a side-by-side accident. That's it so far, right?
Yeah.
That's good. So good that's it. That's all. But
well, and that's place on my arm where I ran.
Yeah, where you ran into the trailer and had that big bruise on your arm. Yeah.
So maybe that's my 3 for the year.
Yeah, maybe so. Everything comes in 3s. Farming is not for the faint of heart or the weak-spirited, is it? So real quick, these are our smaller brooders, and like I said, we've got plans for those. I'll put a link in the description down below. But these are a good DIY, homemade. You can build these at home. If you've got just a few tools and just some supplies from Lowe's or Home Depot, you can build them. These are good for, how many birds can we do in these?
50 is a good number for these.
50 is a good number for how long? A couple weeks?
About a month, really. You could do 100 in here for 2 weeks.
You can do 100 for 2 weeks or 50 for probably a month, yeah. And so lift up lid. They're ventilated on the sides. They have hangers in here. I saw somebody that this was a good idea that had mounted a piece of rebar. Actually, it was our friend Tony had done this.
Oh, yeah.
Hold it up. Had mounted a piece of rebar across and was using that to hang his. He was hanging his lamps, and I think he was hanging some drinkers from them.
That's nice.
It was working out really good. We might need to do a little mod
yeah.
on ours, a little hack. So, but that's our brooders. We've brooded, gosh almighty. How many chickens and turkeys you reckon we've brooded in these things? Thousands? Thousands. I mean, it works. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be elaborate. And you see what they are. They're on wheels. We can roll them around if we need to. But I mean, these...
And they're very secure.
They are very secure.
That's the thing. They're very secure.
Yeah, we put these little hooking eyes on them right here. And, you know, ain't no raccoon getting in that. So they work out good. I just wanted to show you all that. If you're interested in just a good all-purpose brooder, these work fantastic. All right, it's been a couple hours, a little bit later in the day, so I thought I'd come down and check on the new chicks and see how they're doing, just kind of give y'all a little bit of an update on how we're taking off here. So everybody looks good, no dead birds, no problems there. So everybody's looking good. I think we're off to a good start. Everybody's pretty active, doing their little, we call it their little chickie thing, so I think we're in good shape on this crowd. Everybody looks happy. All right, like I said at the first of the video, this is really plans and activity to get us set up to be successful in 2024, next year. So, you know, it's end of August, 1st of September. Not quite September yet, and we just thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and get these birds and get them started for next year, so that whenever markets are rolling around, they're all kind of in full lay mode and doing their thing like we would expect. So I get questions all the time about breeds and that sort of thing, breeds of cows, breeds of pigs, breeds of chickens, and that, you know, just general questions about that. So we selected these. We selected the Buff Orpingtons and the Dominickers because we wanted brown eggs. Brown eggs are very, very popular for us. We sell a lot of brown eggs. People like brown eggs. They think that there's something magic about a brown egg versus a white egg. The only difference is the color of the shell. We did order some Easter eggers. It's always nice to open up a carton of eggs and there'll be a little bit of color in there. Folks tend to like that. And it's just a, you know, it's just a nice thing to have a little bit of color. And then we got those, I went and looked it up. I still can't Anaconda, I don't know how you say them, but those white eggs, you know, and from time to, I had a customer one time, y'all ain't gonna believe this. I had a customer one time. At the time we had whites and browns and colored eggs. And she came up and she said, "Can I get a carton of all white eggs?" And I said, "Well, yeah." So we kind of dug around and put them together. And she said, "I can't eat a brown egg." And I'm like, "Well, why not? I mean, it's an egg." And she said one time when she was a little girl, she had cracked open a brown egg and it had a partially developed chick in it. And it just totally turned her against brown eggs. She associated that bad experience with the egg color. So, which is fine. I mean, you know, some folks are just like that, and that's okay. It's no big deal. So the thing I would say about choosing eggs is know the different breeds and their purposes. Egg layers versus meat chickens versus those dual purpose birds, and select the birds that, number one, do what you want them to do, and number two, pick what you like. The heck with what anybody thinks. You don't need to have a certain breed of chicken on your farm. You know, if you like those naked neck turkey looking things and that's what you want, get you some of them. If you like just a hybrid bird that lays, you know, 300, 320 eggs a year, and that's what you want and that's what you need for your operation because you need volumes of eggs, get you some of those. We're just decided to go back and try a little bit more of a heritage breed, a little heavier bird, getting away from some of the hybrids just because we wanted to try them. And that's where we're at in our kind of farming and homestead evolution right now. And so just pick what you like, do what you like. I think that's the trick. So, and we've had a little bit of excitement around here today. You want to tell them about our little bit of excitement that you had there, Whistle Britches?
Oh, we already talked about that.
Well, but I mean, there's been developments.
Oh.
So Sonner got to not feeling very good. Come here. Sonner got to not feeling very good today, and the nurse and me got kind of insistent.
Yeah.
So we made a little trip to the ER and had her head scanned, and we're happy to report there was nothing was found.
No brain at all.
No, everything was fine. She does have a bit of a concussion, so she's kind of wandering around aimlessly, and
I'm not peeing my pants yet.
Yeah, she's not Peter Pants, so everything. But no, Sonder's fine. I know we always get a lot of questions about when somebody gets hurt, how's everybody doing and that sort of thing. But how you feeling?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be honest.
I'm kind of foggy.
Yeah. She was feeling a little foggy headed and having a little trouble thinking clearly and kind of a persistent headache. So we decided to just go get checked out of an abundance of caution. So glad everything's good. Like what I would say, please keep us in your prayers, especially somebody that got a rattled brain. So please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.